I think it is better now. So I was on live earlier and something was going on wrong. Something was not right. Like my tripod wasn't really aligned. So I have to end the live and come back again. Inshallah, all of you are doing well. If you come on live and join me, please let me know and give me a salam or hi or hello. I will really appreciate it. So I was going to share with you this nourishing, beautifully tasting peanut soup. I started already. I put the peanut in, but because there was some sort of something not going on right, I have to disconnect. So I have already put a bit of the peanut butter in the pot already. I'm gonna add a bit of it. I added about quarter of this container, and I will add about a quarter again, maybe half. Yep. Okay, so if you want to make peanut butter soup, right, there are a lot of peanut butter on the market. You want to go with the peanut butter that doesn't have anything in it. So you turn the container on the back, because the front will tell you it's creamy peanut butter or is unsweetened, and all the commercials that will attract you to choose the peanut butter. But when you turn it around, you know that this is the ingredient that is in the peanut. You don't want the peanut that has sugar in it. You don't want the peanut that has added oil in it. You don't want the peanut that has added additives and stuff like that. A whole bunch of stuff in it. You want just one ingredient peanut, and it's gonna tell you in the back. It says ingredient: dry roasted organic peanut. That's all it is, and sea salt. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so that's all it is. If you can see, if you cannot see, unfortunately I cannot make it bigger. Yeah, so that's all it is. This is it. So this is what would make a beautifully tasting peanut soup for you. And then also like the traditional taste, because peanut soup doesn't have to have sugar in it. Okay, so if you're making peanut butter, even, you don't have to add sugar in it. Traditionally in Ghana, we make peanut, we roast the peanut, and then we take it to the mill, and the mill grinds it and makes it into the paste like this, into the batter like this. But there's nothing added to it. Sometimes salt is added, sea salt is added, sometimes no. Okay, so that's how they do it. And then when you want to make peanut soup, you want to mimic that and not get the peanut that has all the other stuff in it. You want only the peanut. Okay, the peanut butter. All right, and this one I got it from Aldi. It's organic and it has only 2 ingredients. That is the roasted organic peanut and sea salt. All right, so I added the peanut over here, and I'm gonna increase the heat a bit. So what I'm gonna do is just allow the peanut butter to melt down, and also to start like cooking a little bit. Maybe just get heated, and then I would go ahead and add all the other ingredients that brings the soup to be soup, that when you eat as a breastfeeding mom, as a pregnant woman, as a just, maybe you just became a mother, or you just had your baby and you are postpartum, this is such an excellent soup that you can make ahead of time. I keep saying it again and again, that postpartum is hard enough for you to think about anything else. You want to think just about you, about the baby, and your bond with your partner and your creator that made even giving birth to your baby possible. So you want to at least get prepared before the birth of your baby comes on, before you have your baby. You want to meal prep, because without nourishing food, it is hard for you. It is hard. Recovery is really hard. Even if you have a normal physiological birth, okay, you have a normal physiological birth, just as birth is supposed to be, okay, giving birth is supposed to be, or you had a belly birth, that is the C-section birth. Both are hard. Both are hard. Sometimes when you're having your normal physiological birth, some people tear and it's hard for them to recover as quick as possible. When you have your C-section as well, the scar takes a little bit of time. It is wound. It becomes wound, right? It has to heal. It has to heal. It takes time to heal. So you need nourishing food. You need warm food. You need food that has ingredients and nutrients that support healing and support faster recovery. And soups are great. That's why I share soups and soups and soups on this channel. I have a whole bunch. You can go through my channel and find a whole bunch of it and write the recipe and make the recipe. If you have somebody who is having a baby very soon, make the soup and send it to them to put them in the freezer, so that when it gets to the time, they don't have to worry about whether or not they have food to eat, and they would end up just grazing and snacking on unhealthy food. All right, so I'm gonna reduce the heat a bit, and I would go ahead and add some tomato paste. So tomato paste is gonna make the soup thick and also colorful. I like to add it, even though I'll add fresh tomatoes. All right, so if you can see, let me reduce the heat even further. Bring the tripod closer so you can see even more what I'm doing. Okay. All right. I think this is burning. Let me reduce the heat a bit. All right. So this is what it is. This is what it's getting to. Okay. So sometimes when you're making this, it starts to burn if you have your heat on high. So you want to reduce your heat and make it low. Don't turn on the heat too much. Otherwise, you will burn your peanut butter, and then the soup would not be tasting good, and also it will taste bitter because it's burnt. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit of water. This is what I'm gonna do until I start to see some oil coming out. All right, so when I start to see a bit of oil coming out, that means I can add all my ingredients and go ahead and add the water, even more water. So this is what I do. Okay. All right. Most of the time when people give birth, they are very unprepared for giving birth. You are unprepared to give birth. You are unprepared for postpartum, because a lot of the time we always think about the baby. We always think about the baby, and then we forget to think about ourselves and then our partner, how you're gonna bond with your partner. But when you sit down and plan, immediately you get pregnant, you find out that you are pregnant, you start to plan how your birth is gonna be. Okay, what is your birth plan? what you want to have when your labor starts, when you are transitioning in labor, when you are actually pushing. All of those things you have to try as much as possible, read books, and then get ready for that day, for the birthday. And in as much as it is your baby's birthday, it is also your birthday because you are giving birth, right? You are giving birth and you are becoming a mother. Even if you have had so many babies, or if you have had a baby before, having a baby before is different from having a baby now. Why? Because every baby is different. Every child is different. Every soul that is brought into the world is different. So every birth is also different. You have to plan everything. All right. So get ready and plan your birth, plan your postpartum, and plan how your bonding is going to be with your baby. Not only the baby, with yourself, because when you have your baby, a lot of things change. You are not the same anymore. You are not the same person anymore, and you will never be. You are now a different person. You are now the mother of another person in the world. That is insane. So you never go back to what you used to be, right? So it's very, very important that transitioning into this very big event, big journey of our life, we plan. All right. So one of the easiest way to also plan to have nourishing food is to make soups that are freezer friendly. It's to make soups and smoothie packs and meals that are freezer friendly, that are easy to digest, that are easy to nourish you, to give you instant nutrition, not just calorie. Okay. And especially if you are breastfeeding, you need the nutrition. You need the nutrition because we don't want all the postpartum depression, because there's a whole lot of research articles that show us that postpartum depression is linked with undernutrition. It is linked with mothers who are not nourishing themselves as they should. All right. And postpartum hair loss is also linked with your nutrition. Postpartum anxiety sometimes is linked with your nutrition. So nutrition plays a very, very big role in pregnancy, in birth, and in postpartum. All right. And even your future pregnancies, right? So it's very important that, like, all the soups, all these videos that I'm sharing, you go through it and we learn together and we improve on what we want to be, to actually get out of the motherhood journey. It's not only the glitters, like, okay, I have good stroller, I have beautiful bed or crib for the baby, I have beautiful dresses to wear and look nice because now I'm a mother. No, it is not that. It is yourself. Self-care. When they say self-care, it doesn't really mean that you go and have all your nails done and all your hair and stuff like that looking beautiful on the outside and then you neglect the inside. No, it is actually you paying attention to the inside and then it shows on the outside, right? And then motherhood is also very, very, very energy demanding, nutrient demanding. When the baby starts to get older into toddlerhood, it's very, very hard. You need to really be strong to chase the baby around, right? They will be rushing and running around in the house, making us to exercise, even though we are not intentionally exercising. All right. So you see, there's a bit of oil that is coming. This is what I have right now. So I will go ahead and add more water now. Okay, sometimes you have a whole bunch of oil coming out, but sometimes you don't. When the soup starts to cook, it's gonna generate a bit of oil, and this oil is a healthy oil. It's a healthy fat. It's naturally from the peanut, and peanut is nuts. Peanut is a healthy food. It has amazing nutrition. It has some protein in it, right? It is a form of non-animal protein, and it has some minerals in it, and it has, yeah, a whole bunch of it. Okay, so peanut is amazing. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. All right, so this is the soup coming together nicely. And I am creating a postpartum nutrition class. Very soon. So inshallah, look out for that. And it's not like just any postpartum nutrition class or postpartum class. It is really packed with a lot of information, how to prevent postpartum depression, and then the food. I'm gonna include recipes, and it's gonna be like a live recipe making class. Okay, live recipe making class. And we're gonna make some herbal infusion and herbal herbal decoctions and herbal concoctions, infusions, right? And teas. And then we're also going to make some nourishing soups and stews that are amazing for the body and amazing for your breast milk. Okay, so look out for that. And when I'm ready to teach the class, I will announce it on my channel, and I will let you know. And if you have not joined sign up for my email, you can sign up for the email. I'm going to link it down in the description box. So sign up for it so you will be the first to get the email when I release the class. All right. So I'll go ahead and add some chili powder. I love chili powder in everything. And I'm going to add some crushed pepper. This is parsley. This is anise seed, oregano, and Italian seasoning. And this is garlic powder. And I have some, oh my God. And I have some garlic, fresh garlic as well, that I am going to add in the soup over here. So I will just break it up and add it in. All right, so add the garlic in. And then I will add some onions This is the onion. I'm gonna take the onion out and blend it. Then I add some tomatoes, fresh tomato. And I have this broth. Broth are very, 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 very nutritious. So if you have not had broth before, please try. And it's not really like you make broth specially, but I'm gonna share broth recipe very soon on my channel. But when you cook chicken, you buy chicken or you buy any form of meat, right? You add some water, you add some spices, and you add some vegetables, and you add water, a lot of water, and let it cook on low heat for some few hours, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. And when it's done, especially meat that has bones, okay, so you want to use the bony part of the meat, and then you remove the meat. If you want to strain it, you strain it. If you don't want to strain it, like this for instance, I didn't strain it. So if you don't want to strain it, don't strain it, just leave it like that. And then you add it to your soups and your stews. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Very, very, very nutritious, very healing, and is the postpartum mama's friend, honestly. Okay, so I added the broth in. I'm gonna probably add some more. Let me add some more, maybe a bit, because I don't want to collect the oil, the fat on it too much, because peanut soup has fat already on it. Okay, so yeah, so when I'm gonna now go ahead and grind this one into powder with my spice grinder. Okay, I need to have a good setup for this thing. All right, so this is done. I'm gonna add it in. You see, the shrimp adds amazing taste to soups. Every soup. So if you have access to dry shrimp or smoked shrimp, make sure you add it to your cooking, to your pantry. And when you're making soup especially, you add it. You grind it with your spice grinder, and look at how it is. It's really powdery and it's amazing. So I'm gonna add some tuna because I want to add a lot of flavor in this soup. So I'm adding some tuna as well, and then I'm gonna add some meat. Okay, I'm gonna add my baked rabbit meat over here. Rabbit meat is also excellent. So after the soup is boiling or it starts to cook a bit, then I'll add the meat, because I have already cooked the meat since yesterday. All right, so coming back to the tuna. So this tuna is skipjack tuna. If you know that you are somebody who makes use of tuna, who eats tuna, I would recommend tuna to my clients. I recommend tuna to everybody because I love tuna. I love to make tuna salad with it. I like to make sandwiches with it. I like to make burgers with it. I also like to add it to soups and stews. I like to add it to my favorite jollof rice. if yeah, whenever possible. So I love tuna, all right? And unfortunately, I don't get fresh tuna in this part of the world that I live. The only accessible tuna that I have is the canned tuna. All right, so sometimes I would say it's a good thing, and then sometimes I would say it's not a good thing. But what I want to mention actually is because I talk a lot with pregnant people, and this is what I do with pregnant people, with people who are trying to conceive, and people who are postpartum and the childbearing age. I always speak about tuna and the safety of it. All right. So skipjack tuna is known to have lower mercury level. Okay. So tuna, for instance, is a big fish. So it eats smaller fish, or it eats medium size to big to large fishes, right? So any fish that eat big fish or medium sized fishes are likely to have higher mercury level in them. And mercury is a trace, it is a heavy metal. Mercury is a heavy metal that we don't want to get exposed to when you are pregnant. You don't want to get too much exposed to mercury when you are pregnant, or when you are trying to be pregnant. All right, because mercury can be very, very dangerous, or it is really not. It is Mercury can be very dangerous for your fetus. Okay, it can be dangerous for your fetus, it can be dangerous for your embryo, and it can be dangerous for your baby and your infant. So especially with their brain development, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. And you have to try as much as possible. If you are eating like bigger fishes, you try as much as possible to find the ones that have less mercury level in it. And then skipjack, when you go out to get tuna, for instance, you look for the skipjack, like maybe the white albacore tuna, or the other one. Those ones have a little bit more mercury in them than the skipjack. So the skipjack doesn't have a lot of mercury. If it does, it's not a lot. Okay, so you want to really make sure that you are not eating food that have heavy metals in them, that even though they can affect you, they are really, really not good for the baby. Okay, so that is it. Skipjack. So I'm gonna open the can and I'll add it into the soup. Wait. Okay, so the soup is boiling. I'm gonna just stir it up a bit so it doesn't pour. Then I'll go ahead and open my can. All right, so I'll drain the water out because I don't want excess salt. And then I'll add the tuna in. This adds a bit of protein because your needs for protein when you are postpartum is very, very high. So you want to do as much as possible to add protein here and there to your meals. So whatever you can do to add protein. For instance, this tuna, for instance, is in the soup. It adds a bit of protein in it. And I'm going to add some meat. It adds a bit of protein in it. And I use peanut butter. Peanut butter is protein. So bits and pieces of protein here and there adds up, and it really helps you to get your protein needs for the day as easy as possible. All right. So the soup is boiling. So I'm going to just cover it up just halfway, not too much because it has potential to boil and boil over. Yeah, so that's it. And I have some mushrooms over here too that I'm gonna add later, not now. And the soup starts to cook even more. I'm not adding salt because there's salt in the tuna, and then also there's salt in my meat. So I'm not going to add salt. I'll just wait when I add all of those things and I feel like I need a bit of salt, I would go ahead and add it, because usually soups would taste very good after the next day, right? So if I add salt, it's gonna be like, okay, it's good and everything, and then the next day it tastes like it has a bit of salt in it, like a lot of it is salty. So I don't want that to happen. So I won't add any salt right now. I'll just leave it. And then also there's a bit of salt in the broth that I added, in the stock that I added. So all adds up to the salt that would make the soup taste tasty and good. All right. So we are going to wait for the soup to boil up a bit, and then the tomatoes to cook and be tender, the onion to be also tender, and the garlic as well. So when the garlic and all of the other stuff become a bit tender, we're going to blend it in the blender and then add it back in the soup. So if you have any question, if you join me and you have any question, you can let me know and I can answer that question. If not, if you have any idea of what you want to see on this content, you want to see more of pregnancy, postpartum, pre-pregnancy nutrition topics, or you want to see birth topics, like really birth topics, okay, not just about nutrition. So if you want to see that, that's good as well. Please let me know that, and then I can really know what you guys want. If maybe the nutrition aspect of it, you want it less or you don't want it at all, I can as well look into it and see what's best for you and for me as well. And then the breastfeeding nutrition as well, breastfeeding nutrition and breastfeeding, actually, like how to have a good latch. I have a video that I share about breastfeeding nutrition. It's really a good video, and it has a lot of information in it. yeah, so you can, I will link it down in the description box below as well. And I have a video about breastfeeding nutrition, all the food that you should pay attention to when you are breastfeeding, for not only for the baby but for you as well, because in as much as you eat, you are trying to boost your breast milk supply. You are also trying to recover. You are also trying to be healthy. You are also trying to, just in case you are planning to have more kids in the future, you want to pay attention to that as well, because yeah, nutrient depletion is real. Nutrient depletion is real. Postpartum nutrient depletion is very, very real. So you want to pay attention to all of those things. And I have a video that I explained and gave a whole bunch of tips and ideas of what to eat when you are breastfeeding, of what to also avoid when you are breastfeeding. In as much as there's no avoid list, like typical avoid list, but you want to also make sure that your food comprises of the nutrients that support breastfeeding, that support healing, that support recovery, right? And that supports your fertility as well. Okay. So the soup is really boiling. I love how it's boiling, how it is going. Or if you want less of light video, you can also suggest that maybe doing light video is not favorable, is not what you guys like. You can let me know. So I make a lot of like pre-recorded video. I record it and I edit it and I post it if that's what you guys want. I find life to be very, very easy because I can just come on live and make the video and share information, share random information, but very important and educative information, right? Sometimes it's not random. Sometimes some information are random. For instance, the tuna that I used and I shared about the skipjack, it is random. I knew that I was going to use tuna in the recipe, but I did not prepare that I'm going to mention about the mercury, right? But I mentioned it, and it's information that somebody can use to really change their ways or improve on what they know already. Yeah, so when the tomatoes and the onions start to get tender, I'm going to blend them over here. I know that you're not seeing me. I have tried to fix my tripod, and I think today I'm not having it. It's not working in my favor, that my tripod is not really aligning. So bear with me if you're not seeing me and you really want to connect with this life by seeing me. Unfortunately, it is not happening. I hope you understand. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend my tomatoes very soon. I'll blend the tomatoes and onions very, very soon. And then I will go ahead and add it to the soup. And I have some veggies over here, some kale that I froze, chopped kale that I froze, and I'm gonna add that at the end. Okay, I think I will just blend it now. I'll blend the stuff now. The tomatoes is not really tender, but I will go ahead and blend it. Put it in the blender. Okay, let me grab it over here. Put it here. I hope you can see. No? Alright, let me put it back here. I think you see it better over there. Okay, the soup is coming together so nicely, and it smells amazing over here. It took up the smell of the house. That's all that you can smell. And I'm not turning on the fan because that would make too much noise, and you guys would find this video not very helpful. So yeah, I put 3 garlic in. See all the tuna popping and making the soup so tasty. All right, so now I can cover it and then go ahead and add a bit of water and blend. Okay, let's add a bit of water. I made this place messy today. So messy. All right. Okay. So turn on the blender and blend. It's gonna make some noise, a bit of noise, so bear with me. All right. Okay, so I blended it for like 30 seconds, and I'm going to add it into the soup. Excellent. All right, so here you go. It goes in. This is just water that I added in the blender to wash down the blended ingredients so I don't waste them. I don't waste it. Just throw it out now. Minimal waste in the kitchen. All right. So this is the soup coming together very nicely. When it cooks down, it's gonna be thick. If you want it thicker, you don't add a lot of water. And then in my class, in the postpartum cooking class, I'm gonna share precise measurements, inshallah, precise measurements and precise recipe for all the ingredients that you're gonna use. All right, so here I am going to add the mushroom in. Okay, I'll just have them and put them in. Let me do that over here. This is small, leave it like that. And then I add it in. I add the mushrooms in. I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are very, very healthy and they are adaptogens, okay? They adapt with your system, your nervous system in your body. They adapt with your I mean, yeah, they are adaptogens. They adapt with your body to make your nervous system calmer, to make maybe, I'm not sure what I'm saying, but yeah. So now I'll go ahead and add my meat. Or because it's not really cooked, if I add the meat, it's gonna be too tender right now. So I'll just wait and let it cook for a bit and then go ahead and add the meat. Clean up the space a bit. All right, so let me get the veggies ready. The veggies go in last because I don't want the kale to cook too much. I want it very crunchy, not very crunchy, but I want it to be not too wilted or cooked, not too cooked. So I'll add it last. When it's not too cooked, it tastes very good. It tastes like meat in the soup, and it gives the soup a bit of texture and some exciting chewing, right? You chew it and you're excited that you are really like enjoying something good, something that is good for your body and is good for your baby's body as well. Your baby's body, your baby's brain, your baby's nervous system, your baby's heart, your baby's literally everything, because your baby depends on your body to be nourished so that they can also be nourished optimally. Okay, so if you join me, let me know where you joining me from. I'll be happy to know. Let me get this place cleaned up a bit, and then I'm waiting for the soup to cook. to finish cooking, to cook a bit more. And yeah. This goes in the garbage. So hopefully, inshallah, next time when I come on live, I will find out how I can actually cook so that you guys will see the cooking, will see what is going on in the pot, and also will see me. So I have to figure that out because it's really exciting that whatever I'm doing, my interactions with you, you get connected with it. What I'm making is equally important, but when you get to see me in action, it's also exciting. Makes the life more exciting and more enjoyable and relatable. So inshallah, I'll try as much as possible next time to figure out how I can reposition my camera, my setup to focus on me as well as the pot. But if there's no way I can do that, I hope you guys bear with me because it's just one me. And I don't have a cast behind me. I don't have nobody taking me the videos. It's only me and the cooking that I'm doing or the videos that I'm sharing, the information that I'm sharing. So I hope you guys understand and you keep supporting. Yeah, so I wanted to also mention that Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have reached 1K followers and counting, 1K subscribers and counting. So Alhamdulillah, I never knew this would happen. Just as it has happened. So Allah made it easy. Allah made it to come a bit quicker, a bit faster, and I'm hoping that everything goes on faster even more. And the information I'm sharing is very, very beneficial. It's useful for all of you out there supporting this channel, cheering me up, all the sisters. I appreciate it so much. And Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you so much for all the support, the like, the comments, the questions, the sharing, the motivation. All of those things are super appreciated. And I pray to Allah for you as well, whatever you are working on, you are aiming for in this dunya, may Allah make it easy for you to get there. So now we are also working on the hours, the watch hours, right? So inshallah, if you see this video or you see any of my videos, try as much as possible to spend some few minutes and watch. So as much as you watch, YouTube also pushes the video because it's relatable. It pushes the video to people who are likely going to watch and benefit from. All right, so yeah, bit by bit we will get there, inshallah, and bit by bit the information would be even more refined, more organized, and more in depth, right? Inshallah. So I am really working on all of those things to better make this channel an information hub for this beautiful topics about women's health, pregnancy, postpartum, preconception, pregnancy, postpartum, and breastfeeding, inshallah. Yeah, so keep supporting me, keep supporting this channel. And yeah, if you want me to make any topic, just send me an email or comment under my videos and let me know what topic you want me to discuss, whether it's about pregnancy, if it is about breastfeeding, if it's a specific question you want to ask, and I'll make a video to answer those questions, inshallah. Yeah, so jazakumullahu khairan, jazakumullahu khairan, jazakumullahu khairan kathir. May Allah bless you all for subscribing. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting. And yeah, you're all appreciated. And I'm very super appreciative. Yeah. So I am not going to take up all your time. Like always, the soup is coming together, only that it needs to cook a little bit more. But I'm going to go ahead and add my meat anyways. All right. So where is my tongue? Where's the tongue? Over here. All right. I'll just add the meat in. Go ahead and add the meat as is. This is my favorite meat nowadays. The rabbit meat is very, very clean. It's very, very clean and it's very tasty. It is like you don't smell any smell. It doesn't have like too much the smell that chicken has. So I love it. That's my favorite nowadays, rabbit. And this is liver. I love to eat liver. And also, as you may know or not know yet, liver is such a healthy part of the meat that you can have. Okay, it's such a healthy part. It is. I have a short that I made about 3 days ago sharing about the health benefit, but I didn't go into detail. I only mentioned that it has choline, right? It has choline, it has vitamin A. Vitamin A is one of the essential nutrients in pregnancy. And choline is also an essential nutrient in pregnancy. You get it from food. Nowadays, there is supplements that people take, like supplements in pills or in powder. But I would recommend food first approach. You go with the food first. So when you have your meat or you go to the supermarket, you see chicken liver in the chicken aisle, in the meat aisle, just grab one, come cook it just as you will cook any other meat. Maybe just add a little bit of water, or don't add water because you wash it and you put it in the pot, and you slice some onions, you put some pepper, like red pepper or chili pepper or paprika. You put some spices in it, maybe cumin. Cumin is great in meat, so it's gonna be great with liver as well. You add some garlic to take out the smell, any lingering smell. You add some herbs, maybe Italian herbs or oregano or thyme, whatever it is that you prefer to season your meat with. You do that with the liver. And then once it's cooked, you slice it into pieces, or not too much into pieces. If it is the taste is favorable to you, go ahead and have it. Because this organ meat, especially liver, heart, and the intestine, are staple from where I come from. They are staple. They are food that people love. The intestine, that's the stomach, and then the small intestine, the large intestine. Yeah, people love those, right? Even the skin of meat, people love it. But unfortunately, here in the West, people really don't make use of organ meat. They don't make use of these parts of the meat. And these parts of the meat are also essential. They have essential nutrients. They have great flavor. So if you know how to cook them, if you desire for them, I won't say even if you desire, because once you are pregnant or you want to get pregnant, there's some food that you have to try and see if you will like it. If you like it, because they are healthy, because they are nutritious, because they are very, very good for your body and your baby. So you try them and see if you like them. Don't dismiss and say, no, I don't like this food and I won't try it. You never know you like it until you try, right? So that's what I'm going to say about liver. Liver is very, very nutritious food. It has choline. Choline is also an essential nutrient. Like I said before, it's essential nutrient for you and for your baby. It helps with your period. It helps with pregnancy. It helps with fertility. It is good for the baby. It's excellent for the baby's brain development, for your brain development as well. And it's just amazing. It has a whole bunch of nutrition that I cannot even finish listing. All right. So if after watching this video, try as much as possible. If you have never tried organ meat before, especially liver, try it and try it. There was a time when vitamin A had a bad rep, that vitamin A is toxic when during pregnancy. But now there are research that also disproves that vitamin A in healthy amount is very, 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 very essential when you are pregnant, right? And the food form of vitamin A is really not toxic as the chemically derived or the vitamin A that are not really from food. So even vitamin A are like liver, for instance. When you're eating liver, Allah has made liver to be something that you cannot eat too much. Why? Because the nutrient that is in it, we need it in certain amounts, right? We need it in certain amounts. So when you eat too much, that means you are really creating a problem for yourself. So Allah has made it to even not be something that we can eat too much. When you eat just a bit, you are okay, right? So that is the intuitive part of that aspect. You cannot eat too much of liver. You eat just a bit and you are fine, right? So there's no the possibility of intoxifying yourself, or the possibility of eating too much liver for vitamin A to be toxic in your body is very, very minimal, right? So that is also one important information. So the soup, as you can see, is really, 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 really coming together so well. I'm gonna have to add some more meat, or if I add some more meat, it's gonna be too soft. That will not make it good. So I'm gonna just, this is another liver. You see, this is liver too. You can't eat too much of this. No. Yeah. So I'm gonna add that in, and I'll add just a bit. I don't want the meat to be too soft. So inshallah, when we eat the soup by tomorrow, I'm gonna add the rest of the meat so it's not be too soft and too mushy in the soup. So covering it up again, and then after this, the meat gets the flavor of the soup, and then the soup gets the flavor of the meat, I will go ahead and add my vegetables. I have some spinach, but I won't add the spinach. I'll just add this one. This is not enough vegetables for the soup, but it will do for now. Yeah. So I will just allow it to cook for about a minute. So for about a minute, or let me cover it up so it covers up more, and then all the flavor gets married together. And then cook it for about a minute, and then add the greens, and just cook it for another minute, and we'll call it a day, inshallah. Putting things away just to save some time. When I'm done, I'm done. I don't need to clean up too much here. All right. Looks like it's gonna boil over. Okay, so I will now add the greens, the kale. The kale is not much, but it will do for now. I wish I had a lot more. So this is it. Peanut soup is ready. It's gonna be ready in the next maybe 5 minutes. And by tomorrow, you see how thick this soup is, right? If you want it thicker, you don't add a lot of water. But I love to make my soup this way so that by the next day, it tastes even more better. right? And it's not too thick that I have to add too much water. And then it's soup. So soup is basically like in a soupy form. Soup is not stew. So this is soup. This is soup. When you make it too thick, maybe it's a stew, maybe. Yeah, so it's good to make it soupy so you can eat it with a spoon. You put it in a soup bowl and you eat it with a spoon if you don't like to eat it with anything. This goes excellent with fufu. It goes excellent with rice. It's also excellent with just by itself. It's excellent just by itself. It is excellent with tuwo zafi, that's rice balls. You put the rice, you cook the rice, and you add more water than you would cook normal rice. So if you are going to cook rice, 2 cups of rice, you add 2 cups of water, right? So when you are making rice balls, you add maybe 3 cups or 3.5 cups of water per 2 cups of rice. And then when it cooks, it's gonna be like mushy. It's gonna be mushy. So you use this kind of wooden ladle, yeah, or this kind, and you mash it up. You mash it up, and then it becomes like rice pudding, but not too watery like rice pudding. It's gonna be a little thicker with a good texture. And then you make it into balls. You put it in a bowl. You collect it and put it in a bowl. You make it into a ball or in the shape of the bowl, and you add it to your bowl or your plate, and you add the soup on it and you eat it. It's very, very delicious. It's my twin girls' favorite since when they started eating salads, and they love it. And I hope that if you have never tried it before, you will try it. And if you have toddlers, or you are going to have toddlers, or you're going to have you have nieces and nephews, or even if you don't, you can make it for yourself or for your spouse, for both of you, for people around you, and it tastes really good. Okay, peanut soup, you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with peanut soup. So this is the soup. It's cooking away and looks very, very good. Excellent soup. Excellent soup. Last, I shared a soup recipe, that's cashew soup. Cashew soup is so delicious. Oh my God. It is really, really delicious. It's very, very nutritious, and it's healing, it's nourishing, it's warm. So if you want to check it out, I'm gonna also have to link it down in the description box. And yeah, so I hope you try this recipe and you make it ahead of time if you are heading towards your labor, preparing for birth, or even if you are not preparing for birth, you are breastfeeding, you just had a baby, or you've not had a baby, you trying, you are pregnant, or just for everyday use, for everyday cooking. This is amazing food. All right. It says the food that you eat to get pregnant is the same food that you eat to maintain pregnancy. So try as much as possible. Now is the time to pay attention and start eating as if your body is pregnant. Start eating as if your body is feeding another human being. Start eating as if your body is preparing to conceive another human being, inshallah. Right, so that's all that I have for you today. I know that we cannot stay and watch the soup to cook and try it together. I wish we can, but it looks like it is late already, and I will call it a day, and I will check on the soup, turn on the heat a bit. Turn down the heat a bit and allow it to cook even more for like 5 to 10 minutes on the low heat to gather a lot of the flavor, and that will be it. So inshallah, I will see you next time, inshallah. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and you're gonna make it or you're gonna share it. And until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Stay well and be well. Take care of yourself and be in the best of health and iman. Assalamu alaikum. See you next time, inshallah.